I got so depressed, like on like the second and third day. I was miserable. I was so like, what was it called? Cabin fever? Is that what it is? Like where you just, I couldn't even play games or watch shit because I was just so like miserable.
You just like lying in bed.
I was just like lying there checking Twitter and then just like, should I do something? No, I'm too tired. Why? Because I can't fucking walk. So I'm literally just lying, sitting down all day.
You're just bedridden, basically.
Yeah, so, and it makes you feel fucking awful. Like I don't know. It was terrible. I know I'm sound like such a little bitch, and I'm sure everyone's going to say that. But
I saw the photos. Some of the photos you sent.
I'd feel the same way.
It's one of those things where when you see it and hear it, you're like, oh, that doesn't sound too bad. But then when you do it, you're like, oh shit, this is really fucking depressing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, me and Sydney were just like playing games on like the big screen TV in the living room, and I'm just like, it's fucking brilliant. I'm like,
let's pull out the PS5 we packed in.
I didn't have a game console. I tried playing some games on my laptop, but I immediately I was like, oh, this is just not comfortable.
Yeah,
it's not comfortable doing this. I don't know. And the smell of my room was so goddamn bad because all the food was like coagulating in the air.
Yeah,
and my sweat.
Yeah, but then like after reading a few more posts and after like talking to various people, I think your hotel quality experience is literally down to chance.
Well, yeah, because there's 3 buses. When I noticed there's 3 bus lines, and they all take you to a different hotel. And whichever one you go to, you get a different experience. So
yeah, I think our hotel was not just a business hotel. It was like actually like a 4-star hotel.
Yeah,
that they put us in, which I'm just
certainly
like
sounds like it.
Yeah, which I'm just like fucking gacha luck, man. The gacha lords are on your sides.
You know, I will say. And this is kind of this. I don't want to make any more Squid Game jokes, but this was when I got on the bus that we all came on. There was like half the people on the bus,
right?
Which means that half of them got COVID.
Fucking hell!
It was weird.
First round elimination.
The Irish guy was there, who I spoke to, and the old man was there. And so I was like.
What's up, guys?
I was like, oh, G-san, how you doing, man? Glad to see you made it.
I know I'm on the right bus.
So I saw that guy without his mask on in front of like 7 armed guards, not giving a fuck, and I was like, damn, man, how you doing?
Oh my god.
What day did you travel on?
Was it a date?
What day?
Oh, what do you mean? Like,
was it like a Saturday, like a Friday?
Know, man, it was all the same. It was all hell.
Because what I will say is that I traveled I traveled on like a weekday, so like not many people were traveling. So I feel like
I was traveling on a Friday, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, Friday's like a peak time for people to be traveling.
I'm not sure, you know. I have to have a look, but yeah, it was.
Because like if you travel on the weekend, I think more people travel on the weekend because I feel like the worst hotels are like when there are too many people traveling that it kind of like bleeds out.
Yeah.
Because I think we didn't have too many buses, right. Which is why I think we had like 1 or 2 buses, and they all went to the same place.
Yeah.
So I feel like once that hotel started getting filled out, I mean, if you think about it, why would you need to drive 1.5 hours for because we flew in through Haneda, which is like south, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason to drive to a hotel in the fucking north.
Well, they drove to the hotel and they drove us back to the airport.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the airport, you have to have a weird specific taxi. You can't get a normal taxi.
Yeah.
You can't book a normal taxi. It has to be a quarantine approved taxi.
Yeah.
Right.
And the problem is that I didn't know what time we were leaving.
No.
So what time I should tell this taxi? I couldn't figure it out. So I didn't know. So I guessed and I had to wait for 2 hours at the Haneda. But the thing was, right, is that so this whole period I was supposed to be in quarantine.
Yeah.
Right? They drop you off at Haneda and they're like, fuck off. No one checks you. No one makes sure, and everyone just went off. And I was like, "Where's everyone going? Does everyone know where they're going?" Like, I spoke to the Irish guy who'd done it a few times, and he was like, "Yeah, you can just like chill around the airport and wait." I'm like, "Well, I can just go to like the cafe and like interact with people." And he was like, "Yeah, if you want to." And I'm like, "That doesn't seem right." I didn't. I stood in like a corner waiting, away from everyone. Yeah. So I was like, "Don't come near me. I'm sick." But like, I mean, yeah, I got. It was fucking weird, and it was.
You're literally like that dude who's been in jail like for most of their life, who's trying to assimilate back into society.
Right. I felt don't go near me. I'm one of the
people talking to me. That's weird.
It was man. It was fucking weird and it's not a very fun experience, and they've got rid of it now for UK travellers.
Oh really?
Yeah. Have they got rid of it?
Have they?
No,
they haven't. Oh, okay.
They
probably will soon.
They reduced the quarantine time. Before we flew, I mean, before we flew off to England, it was 6 days in quarantine hotel, and then they got halved to 3 days in quarantine hotel.
6 days in that hotel,
which is like 6 days. Fucking. Why couldn't
He
it?
would've
Why
been
couldn't
alright.
it be 6
Yeah,
days?
he would have been alright with that.
I shiver at the thought of spending another day there. It was nerve wracking because the day I had to do my test, they called me up and they said, "Hey, when you get your results, if they're negative, you have to leave the room right away. So you have to pack just in case that you're leaving."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know, and because someone on my plane had been infected, there's a good chance that I could have got it. And luckily I didn't. But like they called me up, they're like, "Your test results are negative. Please leave the room as soon as possible." And like everyone was leaving, and I was like, "What the fuck? I gotta get out of the room." It was just weird. It was really a shit experience. Don't recommend. IGN's 10 out of 10 though.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that experience. My experience wasn't that bad. It was,
Yeah, you got a free sweet hotel. I got shit.
I remember Connor like messaging me every day.
Yeah.
Like I knew Connor was like trying
Just
to
like
drag.
help.
I was like trying to drag something negative out of me, and I'm just like, I mean,
Am I the shit yet gone? Is it shit yet? Tell me.
He's like, tell me about it, Gon. Tell me. I was like, honestly, it's pretty good actually. I'm having a good time.
You know,
like he messaged me the next day, being like, maybe this day will get to him.
Yeah.
This day will get to him.
I'm sure something bad's happened since then.
You know, I went on Twitter as well the day I checked in, and a fucking video from Zedd, the musical artist, was this motherfucker had like a penthouse suite somewhere, like literally a penthouse suite.
Right.
Yeah.
A bedroom and an insane view. Look at this. This is crazy. I'm ready for the quarantine. Let's get it.
And bear in mind, Japan isn't even giving out visas right now to anyone, but somehow he got in.
You got a penthouse suite in Japan.
In Japan, and he got a visa to get in somehow because he's doing a concert.
The fuck?
But somehow they made an exception, and people were not happy
Yeah.
because there was tons of people in the comments being like, "Zedd, you know that like students haven't been able to enter Japan in 2 years.
Yeah.
What the fuck?" And he's off here showing his suite, and Zedd didn't even have to do a quarantine for 2 weeks,
Yep.
only 3 days.
Yeah, so after the quarantine
privilege.
hotel, you still have to quarantine at home for
11
2
days.
weeks, for
God,
11
people are trying
days.
to cancel you for privilege. This is fucking-
I was like,
That's real privilege right
I
there.
made a joke because he gave a room tour that was like 2 minutes long of like all the fucking different rooms he had and all the shit he'd been sent. He'd been sent like everything you'd ever need. Someone sent
Yeah.
like a gaming PC for his quarantine. And I was like, this is fucking stupid. This is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. And I made a parody video.
Yeah.
I was like, hey guys, here's my room tour. And I just turned the camera and it's just like the room.
Yeah.
And that's the whole room.
Yeah.
And I was just
Alright,
joking.
thanks, guys, for
just,
watching.
I was just joking about like how the difference compared to rooms. And then people got angry at me being like, you should be happy that you even were able to enter Japan. You know, people haven't been able to enter Japan for 2 years. The privilege you're showing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? I was so annoyed.
Just can't get a dub.
And so I deleted the tweets. I was getting pissed off with the
Yeah.
replies. I was like, what the fuck are these replies? And they're like, why are you blaming me? Don't
Yeah.
blame me for being a resident in a country and getting back in. Blame the fucking country for
Yeah.
banning any form of visas. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
They feel like
Exactly.
taking it out on me. I was getting so annoyed.
Well, I mean,
I was fuming.
those people
Fuming.
couldn't fucking tweet to the Japanese government, right? So they
Well,
had
no,
to go
yeah.
to the
I was
next
like,
best thing.
what you? They were like, you're so lucky that you can re-enter Japan. I'm like, I'm lucky that I can re-enter the country I fucking live in. What the fuck do you mean? Shut the fuck up. Like what? This is absurd. Like
Yeah.
don't try and say that I'm lucky.
That is pretty unfair.
We're all unlucky that the government has some shitty rules on
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Like don't take it out on each other.
Yeah.
That's why I got annoyed about it because people are attacking other people who are able to get into the country instead of I don't know blaming the people who are making the rules and these arbitrary rules between countries.
Yeah.
Like in America, right? Some states have to quarantine, but others don't.
Yeah.
And so there's this whole weird thing where it's like, well, why? I mean, it's all one country, right? I mean, but it's
I mean,
strange.
same in Australia as well. Like most of the states, Australia had it the fucking worst though. Like Victoria, I think was in lockdown for like 280 days in a row,
Yeah.
or something like that. Like no interstate thing. Like my sister was like, yeah, I'm not allowed to travel more than 10 kilometers from my house.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I get fined. I was
But there's nothing stopping you from just if you live in so one of the countries that was banned was like Texas. You could just fly from.
You mean state?
The state, yeah, the state. The state was the
country of Texas.
It wishes. The state of Texas was like one country that you would have to quarantine in.
Yeah.
Go to the hotel for. But there were other states that you didn't have to go to the hotel for.
Oh, weird.
So like, why wouldn't you just drive over to the next state and fly from there and just say that
Yeah.
you've been there? Because there's no way they can validate that.
Yeah,
or
they can check that.
right? So
Yeah.
to me, it just felt really like fucking weird. But like, COVID has shown that the rules are not to do with what's practical. It's political ties and all those things. If we've learned anything, and that's what is shitty, is that it sometimes feels like you're just caught up in some international bullshit politics of countries that don't like each other and countries that do like each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
Favoring. I mean, the UK did it a lot too with countries as well. They've been pretty bad for it. It was just a mess, and I hated it, and it's shit.
Well, at least you guys got to, sit here with me.
Yeah.
That's good news.
I mean,
That's
like,
good
look
news.
at us.
You guys made it. You made it.
Yeah.